you hear Lily and Brennan in the background, they're over there and Lily is not by herself. I always feel like I need to give that disclaimer because people always make comments. But today's video is going to just touch on some of my favorites for Miss Universe Canada 2019. I kind of hesitated making this video for a few reasons. First, I know quite a few of these girls personally, whether it's from coaching them in the past or competing with them in the past or knowing them from just the pageant world in general. For example, I know some of the girls from the teen pageant days. I know some of the girls from when I was passing the title of Miss Universe Canada in 2017 on to Lauren Howe. So I know some of them personally, so I tried to be as neutral as possible when picking my favorites, but I also want to say that I will give a final favorites right before the final night, after I watch the preliminary competition. So this is basically a first glance from the website, the bios, and just kind of having an idea of who some of these girls are from seeing them compete in the past. For any girls who are competing anytime soon, one note that I want to give you is do not use a selfie as your official headshot for your pageant. That is one of my biggest pet peeves. That's one of my biggest pet peeves when I'm looking at a pageant website, looking at the contestants, and I see a selfie as the headshot, especially when it has a filter on it. When it has one of those filters that make the eyes like big, like cartoonish, that has no place in an official headshot. And if you're very serious about competing, then you should get an official headshot, which honestly you can get them for a pretty affordable price. But with that, I'm just gonna jump right into it and start with Natasha Smith. I know Natasha because she was competing in 2017 when I was passing the title, and she's very memorable for me because I remember at one of our meals she was very intense with what she was eating, and she, out of her bag, brought out a bottle of mustard. I have never seen this in my life, but she got out a bottle of mustard as like her flavor for her chicken breast, I guess, and she was just very dedicated to her meal prep and food plan. So good for you, Natasha. The thing that shows me is that she is super dedicated, and I'm pretty sure she made the top 20 that year. And then we have Tanya Grubnik. She is an analyst. She has her master's degree, and she's also working on her PhD. I know she does a lot of feminist research, and her bio really interested me. She has a lot of really amazing accomplishments and definitely a very interesting history that's made her a very strong woman. Then we have Sasha Lombardi, who some of you may recognize her name because she competed last year in 2018. She competed in 2016, and I think she maybe competed another year, but I'm not entirely sure. She's an educator, and it says she's the reigning Miss Eco Canada, but I'm not really sure what that means because I thought Alyssa Boston represented Canada at Miss Eco International last year. Anyways, then we have Matea Henderson. Matea, I know her from the Miss Teen days. I'm actually pretty sure she was the first runner-up to Jill Martin, and Jill Martin ended up not competing internationally, and then Matea went in her place and placed as first runner-up at this international teen pageant, I think. Don't quote me on that one, but I'm pretty sure that's how that happened. And she is a marketing and communications contractor. She's done well in the teen pageants, as I said. Her bio was super long though, so I stopped reading it, so I need to brush up on her bio for my final favorites. Then we have Rita Who Khayyam. I've known her for a really long time. Her bio is also super long. I honestly just stopped reading it. I know that sounds bad, but my thing is your bio should be short. You should have your most important things out there for us to see. We don't need all this wordy business. Like, we want to know the most important things about you. And that's what the judges are going to look for as well. And future note for anyone who's going to be competing, when the judges are looking at the bios, they're looking at your profile, if they see that it's super long, super wordy, they're not going to be super happy because they don't have time all the time to read through everything. They just want to pick out the most important things and ask you questions on them. Just all the important things that make you you. Don't make your bios too long. We have Alice Lee. I also know Alice from the pageant world. I know so many of these girls, so it's really hard to not be neutral. But she is a chartered professional accountant. She's also an entrepreneur with a profit jewelry brand, and she was her class valedictorian. I remember her being like super bubbly, fun, and nice. Then we have Sarah Winter. I also know Sarah, and I've known her since Miss Teen days as well. She is a golfer, and that's listed as her occupation, so she must be still traveling as a golfer. I'm not really sure, but I know she was going to university at some point. Maybe she put that on hold to compete in the golf world, which is totally cool because your education is always there for you. But anyways, I have confidence that she will make it into the semis. Then we have Carmel Martinez. She is one of the Filipina queens of this class of Miss Universe Canada 2019. She is an audit and tax reporting professional. She has her Bachelor of Business Admin with specialization in accounting, and she just seems super cute. I'm like a fan. Then we have Medina Bendali. We competed together in 2016. Again, somebody that I know. She's also a spin instructor, a psychologist, and I'm pretty sure she's from Edmonton. Then we have another pageant veteran, Alyssa Boston. Some of you may know Alyssa because she's competed in Miss Universe Canada, but not for many years, since I think she competed in 2012. And that was it in the Miss Universe Canada circuit until now. But she also competed at Miss World Canada, where she was first runner-up. She got the Miss Supranational title, went to Miss Supranational in Poland, which I've also been to and talked about. She also represented Canada at Miss Eco International, I think in 2018, I don't know what year, and so I'm confident she's gonna make the semifinals. Then we have Svetlana Mameva. I don't know how to say her last name properly, but she is very beautiful. She's a model. She's also an associate technical account manager, which I don't know much about. She's in the energy sector in a male-dominated field that I know nothing about, but she, I think, has what it takes to make the semifinals. She has a beautiful walk from what I've seen, and so I'm excited to see what she brings to the stage. Then we have another girl who I know, but I've never actually met, and that's Mega Sandhu. She was Miss Teenage Canada 2012, so the same circuit that I competed in and won in 2009, 10 years ago, and she was actually third runner-up at Miss Universe Canada last year. She speaks English and French, and she majored in behavioral neuroscience. Then we have Jean Nicole. This is my last girl on my list for now. She's another Filipina queen in this class of 2019. I actually met her at an event 3 years ago, I think. So she has her business admin, I don't know what that means, obtained mutual fund license, also don't know what that means. She helped her parents open a Filipino restaurant here in Edmonton, which I think is so cool. But I remember she was just such a sweetheart. She's so stunning. When you see her in real life, she's very beautiful. So I'm really excited to see what she brings to the Miss Universe Canada stage. So that is it for now. I'm gonna keep it super short and sweet, and I will give a final, more in-depth predictions closer to the pageant. The final night is August 17th, coming up very soon. So stay tuned for that if you want to see that. You know what to do. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in the next video.